Looking for a guaranteed way to create content that resonates with your audience? Start a podcast. Interview your ideal clients and let them choose the topic of the interview. Because if your ideal clients care about the topic, there's a good chance the rest of your audience will care about it too. Learn more at sweetfishmedia.com.
You're listening to the B2B Growth Show, a podcast dedicated to helping B2B executives achieve explosive growth. Whether you're looking for techniques and strategies or tools and resources, you've come to the right place. I'm Jonathan Green.
And I'm James Carberry.
Let's get into the show.
Welcome back to the B2B Growth Show. We are here today with Spectacular Smith. He is the founder and CEO of Adwizar. Spectacular, how you doing today, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great. Feeling amazing. Business is great.
Love it. Love
How about
it. So
yourself?
I am fantastic as well. Had a great weekend. So ready to dive in today. Spectacular. We're going to be talking about really a lot of business development and some of the partnerships that you've been able to develop and the ways that you've been able to grow your agency, Adwizar. But before we get into that, I'd love for listeners to just understand a little bit of context around what you and your team are up to at Adwizar. Can you explain that to us a little bit?
Yeah, so what we've been up to over here at Adwizar is actually helping personality brands and aspiring talent and companies get their message out to the world and become famous on social media. We do that through giving them access to a team of experts that's going to help them create content, strategy, giving them a proven strategy and access to actual celebrities and influencers that's going to help distribute their message out to the world with influence, so they can pretty much get freed up to do what they do best, which is, being creative and actually running their companies or running their brand.
I love it. And so you guys were, looks like number 262 on the 2017 Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America. So you guys are clearly doing something right over there. And as we were talking offline, just, talking about how you have been able to, build a business that's growing at the rate that it's growing. You said one of the things that you guys have done that has worked really well is press and then kind of affiliate, partnering with other businesses. I want to first talk about kind of the press side of it. What have you guys done that has ended up driving a massive awareness for what you guys do that has ultimately led to business?
Yeah, one of the main things we do is really just figure out strategies that really work. Like one of the strategies that I actually implement today for my actual company, which is the same strategy that I started from Twitter in 2009, which I actually was on tour because I'm actually a musician too, and we ended up getting like this silver disc that you call a platinum record a couple of times and selling like 11 million records worldwide. Wow. One of my guys called me up and said, "Spec, you can make money off of tweeting." So I was like, well, that sounds super easy. I'm in the studio and on the stage all the time. Like, can nothing be easier than that? So at the time, I only had literally 50,000 followers as a band member. And I wanted to come up with creative ways that I know I can actually build a massive following pretty quickly. And one of those things I came up with was creating fan accounts, fan parody accounts of different celebrities that was hot at the time. So I created Cat Williams, Will Ferrell, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and I was speaking in their voice. So Jay-Z did inspirational quotes, Beyonce did love quotes, Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, and Will Ferrell cracked jokes. And I ended up using a system that I ended up gaining from 0 to 6 million followers within a year time span. And, wow. And I became the top 5 in advertising dollars on the whole Twitter platform. So it took a day with me being with some of my celebrity friends, Sean Kingston and Soulja Boy. They're pretty huge, successful pop artists and urban artists. And they was bragging to each other about how many followers they had on Facebook. So I was like, well, how many followers do you have on Twitter? And he was like, well, 1 million. And I was like, how much you have on Facebook? It was like 5 million. I was like, wow. So you're telling me that it's time 5 more viral on Facebook than Twitter? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, wow. I was like, are you monetizing it? And the answer was monetizing. I was like, all right, never mind. So So I went home, an entrepreneur light bulb went on in my head, and I basically like took my attention off of Twitter and put it directly on Facebook into my group page, which is named Pretty Ricky. And I pretty much just took my same formula that I did from Twitter and did for my Facebook fan page. And we had no fan page at the time, no Facebook at all. And I basically took all the fake pages that was impersonating my group, Pretty Ricky, and I merged all of them together and ended up with 450,000 followers total on the Facebook page. And I did my same methods that I grew my Twitter pages with from 0 to 6 million. And I actually did it for my group page called Pretty Ricky. And one of the most successful things I did and strategies that I used for a cat called Grumpy Cat that I created and made go viral. The cat is actually worth $100 million right now.
Wow.
Is in all type of Macy's and like Walmart's and like all these different products, and I pretty much made it go viral. So if you ever see the cat telling me owe me some money, yeah, just give me shoot me an email or something and let me know who you see him. I need a couple of dollars from him. But yeah, so what happened was I did those same methods, and I grew my Facebook page from 450,000 followers to over 4 million followers in a year time span and generated $250,000 in ad revenue. So we started killing that, and I realized that, all right, cool, I got a system I could do at scale. So I started taking on more celebrity clients. And then a couple of years later, I ended up with over 100 celebrity clients. And then it took from me gaining press and the press telling everybody that, I grew all my clients' followers, 79 million followers, and he did 300 billion impressions and 7.9 billion post engagements. And like that word got out, and everybody was like harassing me to say, Spec, please, like, help me grow with social media, And I was like, wow, like I would love to, but you got to have over 1 million followers to qualify for me to work with you. And it was like, well, Spec, I don't have 1 million followers, but I have this amazing product. Like I have these amazing speaking videos. Like I'm a speaker, I'm an author. I don't have the time, I don't have the capacity, I don't know how to grow. I plateaued. They're telling me all these things, and I'm like, man, I can't help you, right? Yeah. But then the entrepreneur light bulb went on my head again. I was like, well, if I can actually make the amount of money I would make off a page with my minimum requirement to actually join my platform, I could take you on as a client, which is like, if you have an account with 1 million followers, I make $5,000 off of that, and off of that I get 50% for my company cut, which is like $2,500. So I was like, well, at least if you can pay me at least $2,500 minimum, then I can actually help you grow your social media following. So once I started this viral Growth X program, which we help grow Facebook and Instagram pages, now we have tons of clients that's coming in that actually wants us to help them with this strategy and giving them that credibility to make them more elite in the competition and the competitors. We're crushing it right now. So we got huge clients. We got clients from speakers to models to musicians to stylists to companies like Zappos and companies like that that's having us helping them grow their social media following and do strategies for them and create content for them to give them that exponential growth that's going to, in return, give them that credibility to then, convert those followers into clients and leads.
Got it. And so are you creating the content for your clients and then distributing it through kind of a network of influencers? Is that how they're able to grow their following as quickly as they are?
Correct. So we have different methods that we use and technology that curates content before it goes viral. So we have different triggers that get pulled to know that this is going to be viral, and then we can get it on our clients' pages, make sure it's tailored to their niche. And then once we get that right content, then we use the celebrity distribution channel and different quote pages, niche pages, celebrity verified influencers. And we actually use that to then spread the word with other strategies that I'm really not going to give you the extra sauce, but we have those different strategies that's proven that we did through each different social media channel, and it works like a charm. And now we do that not only for our celebrity clients, but for our micro influencers, aspiring talent and personality brands in smaller companies.
So is it a matter of kind of taking those ad dollars that they would have typically spent on like Facebook ads or Twitter ads, and instead paying influencers to either like quote them in something, or ultimately like put out some piece of content that ends up tracking people back to your client who's following you're trying to grow?
Right, correct. So a lot of people worry about spending on Facebook ads and Google AdWords and SEO, but especially if their audience is millennials, like millennials care about numbers. Like I'm a millennial. Like if you have somebody who is awesome and they have like 500 followers on Instagram or Facebook, but this other company who is not as good, and they're not as good, but they have 15,000 followers, 20,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram. Me as a millennial, I'm going to say, well, evidently this company is more popular and everybody loves them for a reason. Like, let me go see what they talk about and let me be a customer for them. And the guy who's actually better didn't even get a chance, but perception is reality. If you look like you're not the best, they're not going to treat you like you're the best.
Spectacular. This has been super helpful. If there's somebody listening to this, they're curious kind of how they can start tapping into influencer marketing more, leveraging the press like what you've created for your own agency for themselves. What's the best way for them to stay in contact with you and also learn more about Adwizar?
So I actually have a phone number you can just text me at. It's 786-661-1224. Once again, 786-661-1224. All you got to do is put hashtag Adwizar when you text in my number. It's actually my personal number, but we have some technology built in where if you text certain hashtags, you get certain information. So you can just text hashtag ADWIZAR, which spells Adwizar, which is my company name, or you can just go to adwizar.com if you feel like you qualify for our platform, because we actually turn down more people than we actually onboard, because there's only so much we can do for so many people. So we really pick our people, and we pick who we feel like qualifies and who we feel like is worthy for these type of results that we're going to bring.
I love it. Awesome. Spectacular. Well, thank you so much for your time today. This has been incredible. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
There are lots of ways to build a community, and we've chosen to build the B2B growth community through this podcast. But because of the way podcasts work, it's really hard to engage with our listeners. And without engagement, it's tough to build a great community. So here's what we've decided to do. We're organizing small dinners across the country with our listeners and guests. No sales pitches, no agenda, just great conversations with like-minded people. We'll talk business, we'll talk family, we'll talk goals and dreams. We'll build friendships. So if you'd like to be a part of a B2B growth dinner in a city near you, go to b2bgrowthdinners.com. That's b2bgrowthdinners.com. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.